Do you remember when you're 16 and you're now all of a sudden able to drive? Or how about when you're 18 and you're now legally allowed to vote? Or how about when you're 21 and you can now drink? Well, now you're 22 and it's all downhill from here. Today, my brother, Zach Bain, will be turning 22 years old. I grew up 5 years younger than my brother, and I've really gotten to know and witness him grow up throughout these years. I believe it is important to celebrate birthdays because in reality we're celebrating the people around us and acknowledging the joy and happiness that they bring into our lives. Over the years, I, Michaela Bain, have gotten to witness my brother, Zach, growing to a kind, caring man who follows his own path and is overall a great brother. He is a caring man. In his early life, my brother developed a strong sense of care for people through spending time with others and learning to get along with people he didn't quite see eye to eye with. When my brother was around 4 years old, he really wanted to go hunting with my dad, but he wasn't allowed to for obvious reasons. He was 4 years old. So my dad explained to him that he couldn't go hunting because he wasn't wearing blaze orange. But my brother, a determined little boy, running around throughout the house trying to find a blaze orange something to wear. He ended up running out into the driveway with a blaze orange life vest, claiming he could now go hunting. Later on that year, he'd have to go hunting for a birthday present for my mom. He knew what my mom wanted because my dad told him what my mom wanted for her birthday. But my brother believed he knew what she wanted more because my brother was in daycare at the time and all the girls in his daycare really wanted Barbies. So my brother thought he knew what my mom wanted way more than what she wanted earlier. So he bought her the best Barbie in his mind, which was a blaze orange hunting Barbie covered in camo. My brother later on would have to learn to get along with others. So my dad really wanted to go see my brother participate in track and field when my brother was in about 1st or 2nd grade. But to my dad's dismay, my brother would be in the principal's office after he got in a fight with another kid on the playground. Later on, my brother would be getting along with this kid completely fine in a few hours, completely forgetting about whatever they fought about earlier. Later on in middle school, my brother would get in a fight with a classmate, and in his classmate's words, judo flipped him to the ground after the classmate punched him in the face. Well, that completely didn't matter apparently because my brother would offer this classmate a ride home every single day after school to make sure he had a ride home from football practice. Later on, my brother would be getting a knock on his door from a U.S. Marshal asking him questions about this classmate because he was on his references list. My brother became a caring man in his early life. Although he learned a valuable thing, there was so much more to learn. He would have to learn to follow his own path. He would have to learn how to follow his own path despite what other people's opinions were. He'd have to learn how to believe in himself, and he'd also have to learn how to avoid peer pressure. My brother, when he was in about high school, and he participated in Skills USA for engineering. Well, my brother would do really well in this competition and end up in a 4-way tie for 1st place. This tiebreaker, of course, would have to be an etiquette test, which my brother and his group would totally fail, so he ended up getting 4th place. Later on in high school, he had no idea what he wanted to do, and he felt pressured to do engineering because he did well in some competition. Later on, he'd go to Platteville to major in engineering, but he decided he hated engineering and decided not to major in it. He would have to learn how to believe in himself. After he switched colleges because he did not want to major in engineering, he considered going back to engineering for the sake of convenience. He kept on exploring and persevering, though, through classes, and decided that he found out what he really wanted to do, which was economics. At first, he really enjoyed analyzing stocks and thought about being a stockbroker, but then he found out about actuarial science, and he enjoyed it. My brother would also have to learn to avoid peer pressure. My brother doesn't go out to party with friends a lot, not because he doesn't want to hang out with his friends, but because he realizes at the end of the day, he has responsibilities such as work and school. He also didn't settle for a local part-time job like his peers. Instead, he decided to leap and take a job in the labor union and go to another state, Colorado, to work a full-time job. Despite a rough start in his early adult life, he persevered, found his own path, and followed it. Through all this growth, he never forgot to be an amazing brother. My brother is the greatest brother. He remembers to spend time with his siblings and realizes how important it is. He likes to spend time with us. So I would like to use our trip to Colorado for example. We drove the entire time for 18 hours, and we talked the entire time. No phones were pulled out, sunrise to sunset. He also knows me better than anybody else. He will always sit down and listen to me, and he knows what's going good in my life and what's not going so good in my life. And he makes sure he knows everything that's going on. He is also always there for me. He makes sure to listen to my teenage problems, even though they're really stupid and not important in the grand scheme of things. He realizes that to me, I don't have as much experience as he does, so to me it feels like the end of the world. He also always has my back. He will do whatever it is possible to make sure that he is doing to the best of his abilities whatever he can do to help me. In conclusion, my brother has so far lived his life to the fullest and has developed many positive character traits from these experiences he's had. My brother is a caring man who follows his own path and is overall a great brother. Despite all this growth, though, he still can't figure out how to put on a shirt.